So hello, today I'm heading over to Eastern Washington, hopefully to capture some of the rural Eastern Washington scenery, as well as visit a ghost town named Govan. There's lots of ghost towns in Eastern Washington, and I love to get over and photograph them whenever I can. For those of you who may not live in the United States, or those Americans who may not be familiar, there are actually two Washingtons. There's one on the East Coast, Washington, D.C. It's where our president lives and our legislative body. The other Washington, Washington State, is on the West Coast. It borders Canada, and it is where I am located, and that's the Washington I'm talking about. Washington State is divided naturally by the Cascade Mountain ranges. There's the east side and the west side. The west side has the Pacific Ocean and is lush and green. It has lots of water. We have rainforests and generally a fairly mild climate. On the east side, it's more arid and dry, desert-like, and has a lot of really interesting geology, which is fun to go explore. East side tends to be more rural with farm country. It's known for its apples. It grows crops like canola, even some wine grapes. And it also has a fairly rich mining history because of the geology, which means that there are ghost towns over there. And one of the reasons why I'm heading over today is to visit a ghost town called Govan. Now, I don't think there's much left, but there is a schoolhouse from what I can tell. Hopefully there'll be something of interest to photograph, but there are lots of stops on the way. So let's get started. So I'm in luck. The last time I was out to Eastern Washington this spring, this fellow noticed I was taking pictures and stopped and talked to me. And he was telling me about a road that had all kinds of abandoned houses on it and collapsing and the kind of stuff that I kind of like. So I decided that I would give this road a try. And pretty close off the bat, I come across this old abandoned homestead. I don't know if I'm in luck or not, but as luck would have it, I see that the farmers have just plowed the field, so there's a good clear view of the old house. So I'm going to take a picture with my 70-200 lens on and drive on down the road and see what else we can find. So let's head on down the road and see if we can find anything else. Well, it looks like I may have come to the end of this road. Maybe it's time to turn around and head back the other way. Well, I made it to Govan. It's turned into a beautiful sunny afternoon. It's about 5:30 right now, and unfortunately the schoolhouse is in the exact wrong lighting. So I either have to wait until the sun goes down and get a good sunset picture of the school behind it, or I need to come back in the morning. I'm tending towards coming back for some morning shots. Going to look around and see if there's a place that I can wild camp tonight fairly close and come back and catch it at sunrise. But I'll show you what it looks like right now. It looks just awesome, but the sunlight is casting the facade in shadow. So I could do an HDR kind of image where I have one shot under, over, and at just right. But I don't think that would work so well either. But I might give it a try before I leave. Sunset wasn't for another couple of hours, so I decided to explore the area to see if there were other subjects that might be complemented by the low-lying sun. I found a couple. Then I headed on down a dirt track to find a lovely primitive campsite. The sunset there and the sunrise the next morning were so awesome, and the campsite so peaceful. I didn't regret not getting the perfect shot of the schoolhouse, but I do have it on my list. I have some ideas now of what would make a really nice shot. Well, it's day 2 of my trip to Eastern Washington. I got up at 4:30 this morning to get to Govan to take a picture of that schoolhouse at sunrise, but I got totally distracted by the beautiful sunrise here at, I believe it's called Lakeside Ranch. And then I saw this cool little building, and I just had to take a picture. So I'm on my way back to the Govan school, but have been distracted and won't get there for early morning sunrise, but I will get there before the sun hits the back of the building again. So heading out there now. Back to Govan this morning. The sun is much better. It's not perfect because, as I said, I got distracted by the sunrise at the camp I was at, but it'll be a lot better this morning. The sun is shining on the facade of the front of the building. I've got wide angle 16 to 35 millimeter lens on my camera with a case polarizing filter. And I'm going to take some pictures and I'll show you around. little homestead on the corner of Bordeaux and Govan Road has been vacant a very long time. So that's me done. I got the pictures of Govan that I wanted, the schoolhouse during the morning, and some of the old other abandoned buildings there. And right now I have made it to Coulee City. I'm in the county park, and I think that I'm gonna make myself some lunch. If you're interested, stay tuned and I'll show you some of the photos I took over the last couple of days that I plan on uploading for stock. That's a wrap.